All right, today we're going to take this and many other things and go to this. Let's see how we figure this out. In my search of making some lights for my dollhouse, I got to make a bunch of them. I searched through all the stuff that I already have. I don't think I bought anything new for this particular project. So I searched through the shop. We have barrels of nuts and bolts and weird things. I went through my pile of leftovers from previous miniature kits. Got a bunch of stuff there. And of course, went through my craft supplies of beads and lots of beads. I have quite the collection. And I thought, I'm going to go through my floral too, because I got a bunch of flowers that I think I might have an idea of what I can do. So I put together all my little pieces. I'm thinking of making table lamps, that kind of thing, and overhead lamps. And so anything that could remotely look like a lamp part, I brought. Including I have a ton of different color nail polishes. I thought, I can use that for color because it gives that shine that regular paint doesn't give. And then I came across these roses. I use these a lot to make fairies and different skirts and things like that. And I remembered they got these funky parts in the middle. So when I took this apart, it's pretty easy to pull apart. They have these little spacers that in my eyes, look exactly like a lampshade. Ta-da! We are going to use this. All right, I want kind of a stained glass effect, and this was my first idea, was I was going to use my nail polishes, and I've seen it done. For the life of me, I couldn't accomplish it, but basically you put a light coating of your polish, and it kind of has a see-through window look. I couldn't get it to connect across. I don't know if I'm probably doing it wrong or something like that, so that plan went out the window, so to speak. I tried, though. I still want to do the stained glass effect, but I think I'm going to use my parchment paper here. I'm going to cut out the little patterns of each of the little pie shapes, because a round, curved, dome shape is hard to put just a solid piece there. So I'm going to do the 6 little pieces of pie here, and I'm going to cut it out of the parchment. Once I got all my pieces, I originally was going to glue them in first. That's why there's a little bit of glue there. But I decided, maybe not. I don't know. We're experimenting. This is completely experimental. We'll refine it later if we want to do this again. So I'm going to set these out, and I think I'm going to paint them in all the different colors of my nail polish. We're going to keep that shiny nail polish kind of look and kind of keep that stained glass. We're going for like a Tiffany lamp kind of look. There we go. So I'm going to let that dry completely. You probably do a couple more coats, but I wanted it to be a little more transparent kind of look. Now for this piece, I thought I would use my puffy paint. I have black puffy paint. I'm kind of trying to attempt that welded look, the lead glass kind of look. So I thought this was the best way to do it. And I'm just going to follow the lines and let it dry. As you know, that puffy paint takes forever to dry. So I have another idea. I was thinking I want more of a stained glass effect. I have a subscription to Lily and Fox. If you ever wonder where I get all my nails, I love these guys. And sometimes this one is not my favorite, but I think it would make a great stained glass effect. So we're going to use this. I wonder if it's going to work. The first thing is we got to be able to fit it on our little pie triangles here. And I think most of them will fit, but I can't stick them directly on. I could, but then we kind of lose our lines. I thought about this a couple different ways. So I think I'm going to go back to my other idea of cutting little triangles out of the parchment paper and then sticking them onto that, just for stability. So basically, I'm just gonna stick my nail pieces on here and just fit it in the triangles. Doesn't have to be exact because I know that the edges will be covered with the black there. If you ever, these nail wraps are really, really nice. And they're very inexpensive. You know, if you still wanted to do this kind of thing, you don't have to go through Lily Fox. You can go through anybody. Actually, I've seen them in the dollar store, you know. They're different quality, and if you're not going to stick them on your nails, so you don't care if they're high quality, I say in quotes, you know. You can just do dollar store ones. Same thing, just little stickers or stickers. Just something that's semi-transparent, I guess, would work. So once I got my little pie shapes, I think this one I'm going to pre-paint, because I noticed on the other one that you can kind of see the white of the plastic through. So I'm going to pre-paint it, just a light covering of the black, just to help with the borders and the edges. Now, since this one dried way before the other one is still wet, that puffy paint, I don't know, it just takes forever. It looks really cool when it's done, but it does take a long time to dry. So what I'm going to do, and I debated between white glue and my alcohol glue, I decided to be safe and just do the alcohol glue. It's stronger. And I'm just going to glue each piece into each of those triangles. This is part of the trust the process kind of things. You can kind of see what I'm going for. It's getting that effect. I'm quite pleased with that. It's not pretty. We know that. Not yet. So we're just going to let that glue dry before we trim it up. If we trim it up before the glue, while the glue is still wet, it's just going to fall apart. So this is after it's dried. And now I'm just going to trim up the edges. Make it nice and neat and tidy. This is looking very close to what I envisioned. Maybe not the colors and patterns, but that's okay. We can duplicate this if we want to. Refine it, that kind of thing. So we're getting there. Now I think I'm going to do my puffy paint just to put in that wrought iron. What do you call it? Lead, stained glass leading? that kind of look. We're going to let that one dry, and this one is finally dry. Yeah, you can see how the plastic kind of shows through where I didn't paint it, pre-paint it or whatever. And so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to glue in our little triangle pieces. Put in the last piece, and we're gonna let that one dry. I did, once this one's dry, because some of these pieces overlapped, and it's way more noticeable on the solid colors than the stained glass looking one. So I did end up having to trim a few pieces, but again, I did it after it dried so that it doesn't slide all over the place. And there we go. 2 little lampshades, which we could stop here for now, but no. What are we gonna do with these? I think I'm gonna make an overhead light and a table lamp. Just, again, we're experimenting to see what we can do with these. Now I did hook up a light to a battery power source just so I can see what it looks like. It's my little tester. So it's like, that's perfect. That's exactly the effect I wanted. Now, if you don't like the stark black lines, I did have some gold paint there. I could, like, just a very light buff of gold onto it just to make it a little more antique-y, which I still could do later. But so far, I think it's working. Okay, when I searched through things, I found this thing. I don't know what it is, couldn't tell you, but I thought it's a perfect table lamp base. I mean, it's almost the exact right size. I want a space for where the light's gonna fit. So I did find another clear bead, and I'm just gonna glue that on top here so that will be where my light bulb will be, and then my lamp shade can fit right on top like that. Perfect. It's like it was meant to be that. And I had a bunch of these little rivets left over from other miniature kits, and they fit perfectly in the top there, and I think it makes it much more finished. So I'm going to put that on top of both of them. Now to make the ceiling light, I wanted the same thing. I didn't have another one of those clear beads, so what I did is I cut a piece of pen. That's just, you know, those ballpoint pen things, and I just sliced it up on the bandsaw, and this one was just the right size-ish, and I'm just using it as a spacer, really, and it should fit right in here. My light bulbs are a little bit chunky at the end, but ta-da, just like that. It's gonna work. And again, as spacer, I just put another rivet at the top. Yeah, my wires are very, very chunky, so I had to use a wider one. There we go. We're making this up as we go. There. That's a little better. And then I think, so that I can get against the ceiling, I'm going to put a little washer up there. And that one's pretty much done. For the table lamp, I let that bead dry. It's stuck on there good, so we're just going to string our light through. But then you're going to see on the bottom that if we left it just like this, it's going to tip over really easy. So I got some cardboard, and I cut little tiny strips because I just need a little space wide enough for that wire, and I'm going to make little pads on the bottom so it doesn't wibble wobble. And I also put just a pretty little bead at the top just to fill in that hole. Make it look like a table lamp, basically. You know, the little finial on top. You can get as fancy as you want. This is just what I found. Once we get all that together, we're just going to glue the lampshade to the top. And there you go. From nails to lampshades. Not bad. These turned out really nice. And they light up. Look at that. I mean, we could get fancier. I was thinking of, you could even put like a little bit of, if you have some fringe, to put it along the bottom to really sell that Tiffany lamp look. You can bronze it. You could do different colors. We can get really fancy if we wanted to. Or we can do it all plain, or, you know. But the main thing is our experiment worked. We can go crazy with this now. I hope this was interesting and gave you some ideas to look around your craft room and see what you got, or shop, or anywhere. You use a piece of stick with a hole drilled in it. I mean, you can go rustic, you could go fancy pants. The world is your oyster, right? So the next video coming up, I think we're going back into kit mode. I have a cute little tea house or tea garden. We'll see. That's coming up next. And if you like this, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. That would be fantastic. Just shows that I'm on the right track and I should keep going, right? And what do you think? Do you have other ideas? Leave a comment. I take suggestions all the time. We're a creative bunch, right? So I will see you in the next video. Bye.